My name is Avery Coleman. I'm from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and I am studying biology. I was working with Dr. Angela Allen. She's part of the College of Natural Resources, and her lab primarily focuses on water quality. This summer, I was specifically looking at the specific conductivity of a body of water and how it relates to interactions between microplastics and plant roots in that body of water. I have learned so much about food and agriculture through this internship. Coming from a university that doesn't really have a big agriculture program, I came in very blind to the food system and different practices in agriculture, which isn't something I really realized until I started this internship. But I have learned so much about different farming practices, different forms of agriculture, the various parts of the food system, different ways of farming sustainably, and not only have I been able to apply that to my research experience, but also like choices I make in my own life, and how I view the food that I eat now and where it comes from, and how to make choices that are gonna, better myself and the environment around me. So I actually became interested in sustainable agriculture through my genetics class at UNC, and thought it could be a possible career path. And as I said before, I didn't have a lot of background in agriculture, so I wanted to learn more about sustainable agriculture, gain as much experience as I could to see if that is a career path that I wanted to pursue. And so I went on Google and I was looking for programs and saw this program, and it looked like I would gain just a huge swath of experience and information through the professional development and through the research, which I have. And so I really just wanted to gain as much experience as I could in a variety of different subfields of agriculture. So I, as I said, wanted to participate in this internship to gain experience in sustainable agriculture, since that is not something I'd been exposed to in the past. And so I came in thinking this would be yes, I want to do agriculture. No, I don't want to do agriculture. But I learned about so many different facets of agriculture through this internship that I didn't even know existed, that I'm considering new career paths now, such as like aquaculture extension, or things in that nature. So I've learned a lot about, like I said, areas of study that I really didn't even know existed, and hope to be able to pursue those more and maybe combine my passion for biology and fisheries biology with the food systems and agriculture research that I've learned about this summer. Through this program, I've learned ways to apply food systems to my personal life, and I truly believe that each and every person should understand where their food comes from and should understand the food system. And so I hope to apply the information that I've learned this year to my own life, but also to share that information with as many people as I can, so that they can also make wise decisions in selecting their food and how they nourish their bodies. Through our extension career panel that we had in one of our professional development days, I learned more about cooperative extension in North Carolina, and discovered that there is an aquaculture portion of cooperative extension. And prior to this internship, I was really planning on going into fisheries biology when I graduate. But I think that could be a really cool way to combine my fisheries passion with the agriculture work I've done this summer, and being more a part of the food system in my career. And so I'm considering pursuing maybe a master's program in cooperative extension, so that I can combine those two passions, to make a difference through aquaculture extension. I really love the professional development. As someone who didn't have a huge background in agriculture, I enjoyed seeing the diversity of farms in North Carolina and really learning about a lot of the research that is being done here at NC State and across the state, because I think when you're not really exposed to agriculture, there's kind of a tunnel vision of what agriculture is, and like that whole idea has just kind of been blown up through this experience. I've learned so much about the variety of practices in agriculture and how different practices may work for one farmer, then works for another farmer that's 5 minutes down the road. And, there's not really one answer to all the problems in agriculture. So I grew up in a very rural farming town basically tobacco, corn, soybeans, that's about it. And so I guess I just saw agriculture as, okay, it's these families that own these farms. You can't really break into that. It's going to be a generational thing, these large farms that are going to grow these cash crops. And I've just learned through this internship that, you don't have to be a generational farmer to farm. You don't have to have 1,000 acres to farm and make a profit. We've been to 10-acre farms where people are doing such cool things, such innovative practices in agriculture. And so I guess I've just learned about how imperative agriculture is to every facet of daily life. It's not just the food we eat, it's the clothes we wear, and it's a cultural phenomena, and it's research. So I have a little bit of research experience. I was part of a phytoplankton lab at UNC in the spring, but I didn't have a lot of ownership in that project. So this summer was really the first time I've been part of a long-term research project where I had a lot of ownership, a lot of participation in the day-to-day work and overall goals of the project. And so that has been a really great experience, and it was really fulfilling to see all of that come together on my research poster at the end of the summer. My mentor, as I said, works with a lot of different organizations looking at water quality and different bodies of water in the area. And I think in the past, I've thought of research as you do these steps to get to this goal, and they're kind of prescribed steps, but the work that she does is just a lot of monitoring, and as issues arise, that information can be applied to those various issues and questions. And so honestly, at first, it was kind of a stumbling point for me, but it was interesting to learn through a research experience where the data you're collecting doesn't necessarily have an end goal that you can see while you're collecting the data. But over time, trends emerge and problems do arise that data can be used for. So I think, through her research, I was able to kind of see the importance of just learning as much as you can about as much as you can, because you never know when you might need that information. Working in a lab, my lab was primarily undergraduates, and we all kind of had different pieces of the same project, and so we had to communicate a lot to put those pieces together for our final research presentations. I had to learn how to communicate with a very busy PI who had a lot of projects going on at the same time, and while all my research was going on, I also had the professional development side of the internship and communicating with this wonderful cohort that I've grown to know really well. We've shared our experiences with one another, so communication in that way. I've just grown a lot in that area, I feel like, over the course of the summer. We've had a wide variety of professional development opportunities. So we meet every Friday for the most part, and it could be anything from a farm visit. We had a couple of overnight farm tours. We had researchers in the university come in and speak. We also had some career panels. We had an extension career panel, and I believe there was one that was like unexpected careers in agriculture, which was really neat. And so, we had a really wide variety of being able to experience agriculture, hear about agriculture, both the research side and more the hands-on side. So it was really neat to see the full range of what agriculture is in North Carolina. I absolutely would recommend this internship to other students because I truly believe that there is something to gain from this internship for every single person. From the research side to the professional development side, I know I've gained something from every experience I've had this summer, and I truly believe that anybody could gain something, probably something very different from each experience they would have as well. This particular internship was appealing to me because it seemed to encompass a wide variety of experiences. I knew that I would be able to gain research experience while also putting in a lot of professional development hours. I was really interested in learning more about studying agriculture in North Carolina through this experience to kind of decide if that was a career path I may want to pursue. And I knew that I would gain that experience and information through the professional development workshops, while also being able to gain more hands-on experience through the research portion of the internship. I've always been interested in marine science. Since I was 8 years old, I wanted to go into marine science. And when I got to college, I realized that I don't really want to do super technical research, but I also don't want to do policy. And it seemed like those were the two paths that were going to be laid before me if I pursued a degree in marine science. And so through a little bit of research and talking with some folks in the industry, I discovered fishery science. And I was like, wow, this is a really cool way that I could take research that has been done and apply it to my community to make a difference in local waterways, make a difference for fishermen, for recreational fishermen, and then learning about the food system through this experience has just opened my eyes to a whole other side of fisheries, in that, protecting our fish populations is really imperative to, providing food for our communities. I'm from Roxborough, North Carolina. So yes, lots of farms, lots of families that do live off the land, hunt, fish, and honestly, a lot of that is done, or at least the farming and agriculture is done in a very traditional and honestly unsustainable way. Or there are other practices that could be pursued in the way that agriculture is done in my community. So that's another reason I really was interested in this internship, is because I thought that I could gain some experience and learn about some practices and some different resources that could better agriculture in my community to make it more sustainable for the environment and for our community overall.